to Emo and Eyes Nerd Time with your hosts, Emo Peanut, Eyes of Black Saint.
All right. Welcome back to another Emo and Eyes Nerd Time podcast.
Yep.
Yes. Took a week off.
And Ren's been busy with work, so we haven't been able to do D&D.
Hang out. Let the news gather up a little bit.
That's life.
Yeah, we haven't had any D&D sessions. It's kind of sucks. I miss it, but it is what it is. Yeah. But real quick tonight, I just want to give a shout out to buddies of mine over at the Gamers Guild. It's a local hangout down here in Florida, Bayonet Point, and they do a lot of like Magic the Gathering tournaments, D&D sessions, Super Smash Bros. Tournaments. They also have a really nice cafe in there. Amazing food. I just wanted to give those guys a shout out. I took my children over there last night after work, and we spent a few hours there just hanging out, playing games. Everybody there was super nice. Even fellow patrons that came in for the nice. Magic the Gathering Commander tournaments. Super helpful. I mean, dude, you had no idea. Like, they come over, they talk to the kids and asking us how we were doing. It was a really good experience. So anybody that's in the area, that might listen to us, again, Absolutely. It's the Gamers Guild in Bayonet Point off of State Road 52.
The camaraderie.
Amazing shop. You guys really need to go check that out.
A store like that.
Yeah.
Mm.
Right? And the thing is like, I mean, you know me, and anybody else that personally knows me, I'm very reclusive. But, when I do go out, it's very rare. So when I went out there, like, I felt welcome. They answered questions that I had. They, tips and tricks, and I mean, they treated my children very well. So, it was a really good experience. And even if you don't live in Florida, I suggest that anybody listening that does have
I've seen way too many closed down
card shop or comic shop or something like that they can hang out with. I mean,
I know before I moved down here in 2003,
it's good times.
I frequented one in northern Ohio called Ricky's Den, and I used to go in there daily. And then when I moved down here, I went to a small one that was just called Judy's.
Mm-hmm.
But I miss that, It's a good atmosphere. If it's a well established card shop.
Yeah, it's fun.
You don't even have to sell comics, just card shop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Usually, if it's a card shop like that, they'll do
they don't sell comics.
Warhammer.
They have a few board games in there. They have some D&D, Pathfinder accessories,
D&D, stuff like that.
They have right, right,
yeah,
and I mean, yeah, and I mean they don't have like tons of stuff, but they don't need it. I mean they kind of focus on bring your own, and have a good time.
We're going to talk about another card game that just happens to be digital that people are kind of having a fuss about right now.
On that one there,
because
we'll move on.
A pair of tatas
we're going to move on to
decreased a little bit or have been covered up. We're talking about the Jaina Hearthstone character cleavage being covered up, nerfed. They nerfed them.
Yeah. They nerfed it. They nerfed her boobs.
She had some boobage.
Yeah, anybody that's played Hearthstone that knows what we're talking about, she had a pretty deep cut blue blouse on there. And I mean, pretty much what they
People
did was they put a piece of cloth. They nerfed a little bit.
You're getting upset because they covered up some cleavage.
And guys are getting upset. Guys are getting upset. I mean,
yeah. Well, you got them people that I know I'm guilty of it. I play Jaina a lot if I'm playing Hearthstone, like with you or other randoms.
25 to 30 minutes at a time.
That's my main is Jaina. You know what's sad? I don't know why or whatever. I've never noticed she had cleavage in the picture.
Right.
I didn't realize she had. I didn't realize that her design had cleavage showing until I looked at a side by side, and even at first,
I never
from
really
before and after, I couldn't tell what was different. I'm like, what the hell are they talking about? Why? What's there to be pissed off? And then I noticed, oh, her cleavage is gone. Oh, okay. And reading the. Yeah. It's like people are people got attitude.
It took me a minute too to kind of realize cleavage. what the difference was. It was, but
yeah.
Well, I mean, just like we've talked about in podcasts previous, anybody, I mean, people will find the smallest thing to throw a fit about. Especially if they're very passionate about that particular game or comic or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
But I find it funny. I find it so funny that, they'll get in such an uproar over something so small. I mean, did they have to nerf it? Probably not. I mean, I never really had a cause for concern.
Probably
My
a whole
children have
maybe
played
6
the game.
pixels, 7 pixels.
Again, I've never noticed it, so it wasn't like, I'm staring at that tiny little photograph at the top or bottom of the screen.
Yep.
Yeah,
what are they going to do? What are they going to do next? They're going to,
nerf
Widowmaker's ass or something?
It's done and over with.
Make her butt smaller?
That's all I can say. You know what? They might make it. They'll make it a flat grandma ass. Is probably what they'll do.
Okay, so
they'll just render. They'll render all characters
talking about
unattractive for future generations.
Evo Japan's going on right now. Evo Japan is going on right now, and they're on day 3. 2 days ago, the Evo stream was cut short. With Evo going on right now in Japan, they were starting their Dead or Alive 6 tournament, part of the tournament. And they had some local Japanese models come out with I do believe it was the producer of the game. They were showing off yes and no. I was able to catch it before it was
a lot of skin
turned off. And they were they were just joking around. And model smacking the other model on the butt and and then showing how can I put this, real life jiggle physics. Yeah. And the stream was cut because of it, and when it came back on, I do believe it was Markman that was on stream with Tasty Steve. They were commentating, and he apologized for what was going on, and people were mad at first, I guess. I did, like, I can see why they would cut the stream, because it may go against Twitch TOS, or it's not in the best interest of Evo as a brand, as a company. But you also got to look at it from the other side of the fence, and that's Japanese culture. That's just they're different than we are, you know. It's more acceptable to be. Yeah, it's
exactly.
It's not as taboo over there to be more sexualized than over here.
Right. A lot of their stuff isn't as taboo.
I mean, for crying out loud, they have porn channels on basic cable. Here. You know, it's not nearly as bad over there as it is over here.
But so, all right, listeners out there, let me paint the picture if you have not seen the clip yet. There is the clip, you know, it's out there floating around. It's not like it's, you know, rated X or anything like that. There's no nudity or anything like that. So I watched the clip today, so it's very fresh in my mind.
Very much show cleavage.
You know, they're doing their thing. They're cutesying it up. One model is, you know, they have ripped shirts on that, you know, clearly, very clearly show, you know, cleavage with undersized bras on.
I don't remember the characters, but they were doing a
director that's playing the game,
flying pile driver, and he froze it right at the impact, so his face was just straight up in the female character's crotch. And they paused it, and he paused it. He paused it and moved the camera around.
Yeah, I mean,
they were being jokey about the position.
They were laughing and going back and forth.
Yeah.
Right. So my thing is, was it professional? No. I mean, not for that type of event. On the other hand, dude, how many 12-year-olds?
Okay.
18-year-olds.
For crying out loud, there's a Dead or Alive game specifically for that.
Paused it in the same thing.
If you don't know, it's called Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball, where the female characters in the Dead or Alive series do nothing but wear
it's a fan service.
Bikinis and play volleyball. And they got like a gamble area, and then there's one mini game where it's like butt bump battle or something like that.
Exactly. Yeah. So,
and looking at it from a business point of view, yes.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's also gonna sell more copies. Was it a smart move
to cut the stream? More than likely.
It's gonna sell more copies because there's.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, tickle physics.
You're correct.
I watch some Japanese models on TV, and they're jiggly, so I'll buy the game. You know, I'm not. No offense to anybody, but that's the way it is. That's marketing. Right. It's marketing. It's what it is. It's smart on the director's part. Over there, it's acceptable. Over here, not so much.
Yeah,
but I get it.
Absolutely.
I get why there was people mad it was cut. You know, I can see both sides. You know.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
So, this past Friday on the 15th, the release of Jump Force came out. I know you haven't played it. You didn't get it, but I did. And I just wanted to give a little quick, my little, you know, input on it, non-professional, my opinion and my opinion only deal for the short time that I played the game so far. First impressions, you know, getting into the game, starting the story and everything like that. It's a really pretty game. It's really nice. Getting the story going, I'm going to warn you, folks. If you haven't played this game already and you're looking forward to it, it's a bit painful in the beginning. It takes a while to get it going. There's really long
Goku's
cutscenes.
Japanese voice.
The entire game is in Japanese, which I don't have an issue with. Some out there might have that issue.
No offense to the voice actor.
Yeah, Goku's Japanese voice is not the greatest. But that aside, you
mm-hmm.
No, not at all. But I mean, that aside, you don't really hear a whole lot of Goku in the beginning. But again, the gameplay itself, now when it comes down to the fighting itself, so far, in my opinion, it's very fluid. It's very similar to Dragon Ball FighterZ. In a sense that, like, you know, it's really easy to chain combos together. You can learn, you learn different powers as you go, depending on, who you go with. I'm trying not to spoil anything for anybody.
Mm-hmm.
But first impressions, it's a little slow, but once you start getting into the battles and getting into the storyline, it does get better. I do hope in the future, they continue to add characters or, improve on the controls a little bit, improve on the storyline. But, for the little bit of time that I played it, 2019 release of Jump Force, it's a decent game, especially if you're really into, the anime scene. You're a casual fighting game player.
I don't really have an opinion about it. I haven't played it. I was never a fan of the arena type fighters like Jump Force or the Naruto series, or even going as far back as like Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi. I wasn't a fan of them. I could never get into it. I prefer, side by side 2D-esque fighting games like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, something like that. I didn't even really like the arena Mortal Kombat games.
I would
like
agree.
4 and
I agree with you.
Deception. Those games, I wasn't a fan.
Right.
So they're not for me.
Mm-hmm. No, I completely understand, and I would have to agree with you on some point that I personally do prefer, the side perspective of a fighting game, Street Fighter and Tekken and so on and so forth. I do prefer those. My main reasoning for getting Jump Force is just because I'm into the anime. I generally wanted to play the characters and kind of see how it was. And is it worth the $60? It depends on who you are, really. I can't really give that type of assessment just yet, but as it stands with what little I played, again, it's, for me personally,
I'm glad they included as many characters as they did.
But that's pretty much all I got to say.
I'm glad to see that there's another Shonen Jump fighter.
There's so many characters, and it's really cool. It really is. Yeah.
Other than that, I don't really have an opinion about it. I'm glad people like it. I'm glad it's selling well. Absolutely.
Yeah. But
yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Speaking of anime, fans of Sword Art Online have something new to watch. Gun Gale Online.
Yeah.
Have you checked it out yet? So I binge watched it all in one day. I liked it. I really did.
Yeah.
I like the lore of Sword Art Online a little bit better. Just because I like the whole, kind of fantasy type aspect. This one is more of a VR take on it. But again, the story is really good. The animation is really good. Those of you who haven't heard of it, again, it's Gun Gale Online. It's SAO Alternative Gun Gale Online. It's on Netflix. It premiered, I want to say, like a week or two ago.
I did watch.
But yeah, if you haven't seen it, definitely
some of Sword Art Online.
First season's out already,
and I was a fan.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, I liked it. Good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you'll like this because they did a pretty good job on it. But
let's do
now,
it.
I want to take things into a little bit of a slightly darker turn with our next two subjects. So, first, violence in video games has been an issue for, many years. Most recently, it's been coming out more and more. People are getting heated about it. But there's been talks about proposing a tax on violent video games to reduce school shootings. Again, my name is Eyes. Anything that I say is my opinion and my opinion alone.
I agree.
I think that this proposed tax on violent video games to reduce school shootings is complete fucking horseshit. It's been proven time and time again that violence in video games has no correlation with violence in children. I
do.
It's absolutely a parental issue. Absolutely a parental issue. I have 3 children myself. You have a child. My kids have played.
Mine watches us
pretty
play,
violent video games. I mean, they played some Dead by Daylight.
Anybody else in the house played Resident Evil,
some GTA 5. So on and so forth.
Yeah, she used to watch Walking Dead with me all the time. Oop.
Right, so she's still exposed.
Yeah.
Right. Does she go around stabbing people?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I know it's not as cut and dry in that as that, and again, like I stated before, this is my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think they're constantly grasping at straws. They want to blame somebody other than themselves. And when it comes down to it, and you go into that video game store, and your child picks up a copy, of GTA 5 or, whatever the case may be, and they put it on the counter, and that, and that clerk says, well, sir or ma'am, this is for ages 18 and up, and they go, yeah, whatever, just give it to Jimmy, I don't care. So that therefore that responsibility has been passed on from the clerk of the store to you as the parent. So it's up to you as the parent to restrict your children's access to those kind of materials. Absolutely. If you have any inkling that your child is susceptible to that kind of behavior. It's as simple as that. I mean, I don't want to. I'm not going to drag this out any more than it has to. That's basically it. But on to the next little piece of dark news, and this one really got under my skin.
Yes.
So everybody's talking about the new
Yes.
Apex Legends that recently came out, the new BR from the makers of Titanfall. You've played it. I know my kids have played it. And the thing is, now parents are concerned that kids playing Apex Legends
how exactly?
might turn them
I'm curious because I haven't heard anything about this.
Yeah, I can't make this up. It's I don't know. I've seen a couple articles. Apparently, it has something to do with them playing as the female characters, acting like the female characters, are connecting with the female characters, vice versa. It goes for both boys and girls, men and women, whatever. But yeah, their parents are legitimately concerned that their children playing Apex Legends will turn them transgender. My question to the parents is, who the fuck cares?
Yeah. I really don't care, and I'm not gonna bring religion into this. But coming from an outside person looking in, again, who the fuck cares what character he plays?
Right. Understandable.
There's 2 girls in the whole game. Right? I do believe there's two women in the whole game.
Right.
It's a game.
And
because so their thing is okay, so
yeah, and you just said the key word.
Their
game.
Child, whether it be son or daughter, whoever,
is a game.
Transgender. Turning transgender. Let's see. The only females that are in the game right now, I do believe, is there's Wraith, who is a small Asian of descent, it looks like, character. Shinobi ninja type deal. Carries a shuriken. The other female character is a African American female with short hair, and that's it. That's, I do believe, the only female characters in the game right now. As of now. So, how would, I'm assuming son, because playing female characters, how would your son turn transgender by playing a female character? I can tell you why he's playing a female character. Because they're faster.
I don't know. That's
the characters are faster. Yes, that's why they get played.
From a gamer standpoint, yes, that's
it's not a cosmetic thing.
Female characters,
it's game mechanics,
tend to have higher.
The female characters are faster.
Yes, absolutely.
Because you got to look at the other male characters. One is a robot, so has no gender. The other males, the one male is average build. Another African American male,
heavy,
he's average
bulky.
Build. The other are bigger males. The character I like playing, I do believe his name is Gibraltar or something like that. Sorry, I can't remember their names off the top of my head. He's a big character, I would say, of Hawaiian or Samoan descent, because he does like mini hakas, and he's the tank support role, so he's decked out in I would say SWAT gear.
Okay.
And the other guy is support. I'm sorry. There's actually 3 females, but I'll cover the next one. The last male is a support scout And that's his job. The female that I forgot about was Lifeline. And she is a smaller build with little poof ponytail things. And she's the medic.
Okay.
And fast. So, just because your son is playing one of the female roles, especially like I'm assuming Lifeline or something like that. Like I don't get it, you know. Just a game's not gonna turn your son or daughter transgender. It's not how it works.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean my two sons have played Apex Legends. They have yet to come to me, you know, with concerns about
parents that don't know what
changing their current.
My son is turning transgender because they're playing a video game. You know what? Maybe you should talk to him. If it's that big of a deal, talk to him. Open a dialogue. Open a conversation. Ask him why he's playing the female characters. If it's
that big of a deal, then yeah, exactly. Maybe you should talk to them. You know?
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you right now, if they run around the house acting like Lifeline or whatever,
yeah, absolutely.
I can almost guarantee you it has nothing to do with the fact that she's a girl.
If he thinks he's turning into a female,
it's probably just a cool fucking character.
I might have to have a talk with Ren. Oh, okay. I'll do that tonight while we're playing Apex.
We might have to have a chat with Ren.
Lord knows I've been playing it every night with him.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Just, come on, guys. Just talk to your fucking kids, man. Like, I'm not... yeah, it's fucking talk to your kids. If you think your kid's transgender because of a video game, and there's Lord knows all these other video games out there he could be playing with female characters. Overwatch is the next team-based one that I could think of off the top of my head with female characters that are, absolutely. Just fucking talk to him.
Yeah. Overwatch, Paladins, League of Legends. I mean,
yep. Somebody's got to have some sort of fucking issue with it.
I know. It's another game that's getting popular. It's very similar to Fortnite. Parents are concerned that oh no, this is going to take my son or daughter away from their daily activities.
I hadn't heard about this until now.
And that's pretty much all it is. And they want to find some asinine excuse.
What you got my raw input? Fucking just talk to your damn kid, man. Open a dialogue instead of just passing judgment. Look at it this way: would you rather your kid play a female character or play an ultra-violent game? Yeah. I don't know, like Doom, Mortal Kombat, Grand Theft Auto. If you're that like butthurt about a video game and you're that worried, there's a whole lot of video games out there that you probably shouldn't let your kid play if you're, yeah. Look into something called, I'll spell it out.
Yeah, if you're that concerned, stick to Tetris.
It's there for a reason. It's there for a reason.
Solitaire.
I'll even give you. It's an acronym. I'll even give you what the letters stand for. Electronic Software
There you go.
Rating Board. It's there for a reason. Look it up.
There you go. But you have some other Apex related news that's a little bit more on the lighter side, kind of.
Oh, yeah. Respawn, which is the company that does Apex Legends.
Yeah, Apex Legends news.
The game is what, 7 days old at this point? 8 days old? Something like that. They have already banned 16,000 accounts for cheating.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. 16,000 accounts. And probably climbing. Because of
that's pretty insane.
And cheating. Now, I know I was playing a game last night with Ren, and something seemed a little weird. There was just a person standing out in the middle of nowhere. Just standing there. Not doing anything. So I'm like, okay. And not too far away was another team coming towards said person. I thought maybe it was a dummy account or something, and they were boosting their stats. Which in itself is a bannable offense. But, man, I know I've heard and seen other people come in contact with hackers. I myself haven't played with any or against any. And I could see where people would accuse other people of it.
Mm-hmm.
Just because some of the weapons are a little OP at the moment. But yeah, I thought that's crazy just though. 16,000 people, or I shouldn't say people, accounts banned for cheating already.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't looked into it, and I haven't tried it.
Is it cross-region, or is it region-locked?
Yeah.
And the only reason I say that... Yeah. The only reason I say that is because I've heard through, different YouTube channels, big name streamers, that over in China, for them, it's okay to cheat. It's actually it's actually bad if they don't try and cheat, because then it would be considered like they weren't trying their best. And I'm not trying to make excuses for anybody. I just know that when it comes to a mass exodus of cheaters, 16,000. That's kind of the first thing I think of is, and again, I'm not throwing any shade on China. Their culture is different from ours, so they value different things. But I know in their culture that they they try to do everything in their power to be the best that they can be at whatever it is that they're doing. And that does include cheating. So if they're playing a video game and they don't cheat, it's actually dishonorable because they're not trying their best. And I know, and again, I'll say it, I'm not condoning it or anything like that. It's just, it was an odd piece of information that I had heard when it, because, what was it? Atlas. The pirate game Atlas that came out, there was a lot of cheating going on. There was a lot of, accounts getting banned and stuff like that. They were working on that, and a lot of it was Chinese players for that reason. And that was the only reason why I brought it up, because I thought it was a very odd, yet intriguing piece of information that,
indeed,
was kind of neat. That's a lot of accounts to come across.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But keeping track.
16,000. That's
hacking
a lot.
Or stuff like that. Fallout 76 just had a purge of duped items. I know that was a nasty glitch for a while.
Mm-hmm. Yes, this has been a.
Oh wow!
Yes, it was huge.
I don't play it.
I mean, when I say huge, because I know you haven't played it, so when I say huge, I'm talking server crashing huge. Yeah, because the server couldn't keep up with all the named items
so bad. Yeah,
and so you could always tell when you were by somebody that would dupe items, because when they came in close proximity to you, your game would lag. Yes, absolutely. It would lag really bad and often would crash the game. So usually you could tell, you could almost pinpoint who was duping.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a big thing. So I'm glad Bethesda is still taking steps to fix the game.
They're still trying to fix it. From what I've seen,
I know this is old news, but Fallout 76, got an extremely rocky start.
I'm glad that I'm glad that they decided to continue with it instead of just dropping it and moving on.
It's getting there.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, you have to, I mean, in this day and age, you have to appreciate the fact, whether you like the game or not, that developers will
for
continue,
a small community as it has, they're really working
to try and fix a game that people like to play.
Which is good. I'm glad to see them do that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I guess we can continue with the not so happy news. So I don't know if anybody out there, any of our listeners, are wrestling fans. Me particularly, I used to watch it back in the 90s. With my grandfather, it was fun at the time. But there's a pro wrestler out there. His name is Booker T. He apparently is well, I shouldn't even say it, but he is suing Activision for copyright infringement.
I didn't hear anything about this one either until you brought it up, and I looked at the picture.
In Call of Duty Blackout 4.
It is very similar to his look. It is almost on. Yeah. It very much so.
It's
so far. It looks so
similar,
much like him. He probably has a lawsuit.
It's very odd. I mean,
what would it be? Likeness. Like he really does. It looks that similar to him.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very close, guys. It really is. If you've like I said, if you've ever watched, wrestling kind of late 90s, early 2000s, you'll definitely know the name. You can see it in his face, especially his mouth. The way the guy carries his mouth, it definitely looks like Booker T. I mean, I can't say that he's wrong in doing this. But again, it's one of those things where it's like, somebody's using something that looks eerily similar to me, but at the same time, okay, it's Booker T, the WWE wrestler from, the early 90s or mid to late 90s, that he was moderately big, but I wouldn't say big enough to the extent that somebody would rip off his likeness to put in a game, I guess. I mean, if that makes any sense. I don't know. It's really hard to say, guys. I mean, you would definitely, you'd have to go check out the article yourself, and kind of give it a once over. By all means,
absolutely,
look at it. Tweet at us.
Again, I think he might have a case
Eyes of Black
there.
Sand, at Emo Peanut. Tweet at us. Let us know what you think.
It very, very similar. But
I can't disagree.
Speaking of lawsuits in video games, the biggest one that Fortnite had.
Yeah, it is. It's
Carlton from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. What was his name? Ernesto something. I don't have it pulled up here, but something. Or bad.
Alfonso.
His lawsuit got thrown out.
I know we're pissing off a lot of people right now by butchering this name, but
that just shows you it's not a big deal.
Yeah,
you can't copyright a dance,
and
he should have known that. You can't copyright a dance.
Yeah.
It wouldn't. Yeah, exactly. It wouldn't be a big deal.
And the only thing is if Fortnite wouldn't have blown up like it did, if it would have stayed.
Nope.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It would have stayed under the radar. Nobody. Oh yeah, that's the Carlton dance. That's the Carlton dance. Nobody would have batted an eye. But as soon as they blew up and started making money. That's when people.
Alfonso.
Oh shit! That's my dance. I did that on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Who's the other one that was doing it?
It's like.
I don't know if he did or not, but Donald Faison, from Scrubs, is what I know him from. He was hinting at it, but I don't think he ever did. Yeah.
Yeah, there was him.
Yeah. He was just unhappy that they used it, I guess.
He was unhappy with it. That was, I think, what he basically got stuck on. He was just unhappy with it. Yeah. There was the orange shirt kid's mom, or I don't want to call him Orange Justice.
There was another one
kid or whatever. His mom tried to sue. There was the backpack kid. I think he's the one that did the floss.
Dr. Dre. It was the one.
Yes, there was, and I know what you're talking about. I can't think of it though.
I think it was. It's the thing that Snoop Dogg did all the time.
Oh shit!
I don't know what it's called. I'm not hip with the hip hop lingo. I don't fucking know.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
No, me neither. Sorry, I'm a metalhead through and through.
I'm not into the hippity hop.
But there was a couple lawsuits that Epic was dealing with because of Fortnite.
Yeah, we're metal.
They're all getting thrown out. You can't copyright a dance. So that's what that is. You gotta go with
it. Yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
Shall we move on to some some lighter news?
Lickitung
you want to talk
was
about,
in the latest trailer for Detective Pikachu. Not gonna lie, he kind of looks like a dangle. He looks like a weenie.
Uh-huh. He creeps me the fuck out.
He's very phallic looking.
It's more along the lines of his realistic color skin and his ultra realistic
very
tongue.
much so.
Like, yeah. I do apologize, listeners. I'm looking at some still shots right now, and it's. Just if you're interested, search it up on Twitter.
People are finding out
you'll be able to find some of the stills.
Pokemon. Some of them aren't that good looking.
They're eerie at the same time. It's just very weird.
Am I still excited to watch this damn movie? Absolutely. I will watch it day one. I will probably pre-order my tickets.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Hell yes.
I will probably end up pre-ordering it on like Vudu or something. But I'm very much excited to watch Detective Pikachu, and I absolutely love the fact that Ryan Reynolds is playing Pikachu. But some of the Pokemon, kind of kooky looking.
Yes, I agree.
Like, yeah, he's very flesh colored.
Some of them are pretty odd. I mean, I know Lickitung is supposed to be pink. This one is more of a flesh colored.
Mm-hmm.
I think if they would have went with more of an unnatural, more of a pinkish tone. But again, hey, I'm not the director. I'm not the one that made the movie. So
Bulbasaur. I do want to add though.
There's obviously been a lot of research behind the movie.
He is very. He looks just like a Bulbasaur. He really does.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen the Bulbasaur yet,
and it's just like it's personal favorite,
Nice. It is.
Yes. Actually, I'm gonna send you the picture of
people are gonna
Bulbasaur
like some
right
things,
now.
Not like others.
You get your live reaction to Bulbasaur. He's very cute looking. He's frog like, and it's. But by all means, please Google Detective Pikachu and Bulbasaur, and just look at his cute little froggy face.
Yeah,
he's cute.
That's super cool right there.
I can't either.
It's so cool. It's like a lizard. It's like a lizard and a kitten.
I can't. I really can't wait for it.
Oh, I cannot wait. This movie's gonna be good.
But talking about video game stuff, a sealed boxed copy of Super Mario Brothers for the NES sold at auction recently for $100,000. That is crazy. That ranks, I think, up there just under World Stadium, the championship cards. Not World Stadium. The Nintendo Championship gold cards is just under that, I do believe.
Yeah. Yeah, and the previous mark for
still
another copy of Super Mario Brothers sold in 2017 was for only $30,000, which, don't get me wrong,
still in the cellophane,
fuck ton of money. But yeah, compared to a sealed folks copy,
it was probably just sitting in an attic or something somewhere.
It's pretty obvious
somebody picked it up for a couple bucks. I'm assuming.
That's the only thing
I'm guessing because I don't know the backstory to this exact copy.
Oh yeah.
But it was probably just some sort of thing that some grandparent had laying around. Oh, yeah, we just forgot to give it. It was probably laying at some sort of garage sale or something.
Oh. No, I'll tell you exactly what happened.
Forgot about it.
You see, it was going to be for little Billy for Christmas. Yeah. Grandma had it stuffed away in her cedar chest underneath all those 50, fucking hand-quilted blankets that she makes.
Mm.
And it was forgotten about. And, Billy ended up having a shitty Christmas, didn't get Super Mario Brothers, got some freaking
35, 40 years later, something like that.
And, here it is, some odd years later, somebody finds the damn thing. Yeah, and bankrolls 100 G's
people are
going
to see this. And the collector's market for,
Billy
games,
missed out.
Retro games. As ridiculous as it is now, okay, some of the prices are outrageous. I know, because I've bought and sold some of the rarest games. It's going to cause the market to go wonky for a little bit. Mm-hmm. It really is. Mm-hmm. It's bad enough now. Like, I remember just 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago.
Yeah, because
I used to be able to go to Goodwill and find amazing deals on games. But now there's so many people and there's so many stores that look for these retro games. They're hard to find. Like, so I think it was like last year, I owned one of the rarest Nintendo 64 games there is. And I had been looking for this game since its release. And it was a Blockbuster exclusive from back in the 64, Clay Fighter 63 and a third, Sculptor's Cut. I found it at the game store that I'm sponsored by. I personally bought it for $350. I didn't bat an eye at it. I threw $350 down. I bought that, and I bought Conker's Bad Fur Day on the same day because he just happened to have them in the store. I would still have that game if it wasn't for bills that sprung out. Because that's how fucking karma works.
Jeez.
I got the one game I've been searching for my whole life, and your car broke down and you have no money. What are you going to do? I got to get around. And it was funny too because the shout out to GameQuest. I bought it from GameQuest. That's how
it always is, man.
And I put it up for sale a week later. Is how long it took. And the message I got from it was, "Hey, you're the guy that just bought that from GameQuest, right?" Yeah.
Right.
I'll give you $250 for it. Sold. But it's just, and the game market's gonna go nuts for a month, maybe 2 months.
Wow.
People's gonna think their shit's worth gold, and it isn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, they're gonna go pillage their freaking attics and.
And it's already bad enough. It's already slim pickings for video games. People,
for all the old games that they may or may not have thrown out, and pillage the Goodwills and Salvation Armies, and
not fun. I think the only other game that I would search for and buy on the spot that's over $100 would probably be Sunset Riders for the SNES. I think market for that game is $150 right now. Think.
Okay.
I'll look it up just to make sure because I don't want to look stupid.
Wow.
Right, boxed copy. I put Rifers, not Raiders. Yep, a sealed, not sealed, but a boxed copy with manuals and inserts and everything. The cheapest I can find right now is about $300. Yeah. So it's actually even more expensive than Clay Fighters 63 1/3 Sculptor's Kit.
Wow.
But I love that game. I completed my mod and everything on my arcade, my 1-Up arcade.
Wow.
So I know we talked about that last podcast, did you believe, right? Yeah. Yes. You got the same cabinet. Now you're gonna do the mod to it as well, correct?
Yeah. Yes. An update on that. I got one.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll be ordering the
my
kit
mod was completed and
probably within the next month or so.
And
I have doing something very similar to what you have
Sunset
done.
Riders on there, which I'm very thankful for. The arcade version as well as the SNES. And nice. I absolutely love it.
So, I mean, since how, when we talked about it on the last show, this was pre-mod. So, explain to me and the listeners.
Okay, so I know we talked about the controls and the buttons of the arcade cabinet,
previous functions versus what you can do with it now.
You have found this out recently with your purchase of the SF cabinets, the Street Fighter cabinet, the same one I got. They are garbage.
Just
complete garbage. The stick, especially on mine, malfunctioned 24 hours later. Yep. It didn't really malfunction. The spring had bent out. I looked at it when I was doing the mod. The spring had stretched, and it wasn't clicking right, and it wasn't registering right.
Wow.
So, I took mine all apart when I got my parts, and
Jesus.
The worst thing that I had to do to it was drill 2 holes for buttons. That's it. The buttons themselves weren't hard to install. Okay. The stick I had to drill new holes for because the mounting holes were off.
Yeah.
Which is fine. So it's not a big deal. The wiring was pretty simple.
Okay.
Because the buttons,
right?
The one side of the button, there's 2 sides to each button, and I have HAP style LED buttons. They're 30 millimeter click buttons, and they light up when you push them, or when the arcade's on. They light up. It doesn't matter what side the input wires go to, and it doesn't matter in what order, as long as they're on the same side. And you plug that, they have a little connector. You plug it into your USB encoder, and it works.
Right.
Each side has to be the exact same. Each wiring harness has to be the exact same. So the one thing that I had to do was I had to troubleshoot the But I was talking about the ground wire for the lighting on my buttons. Yeah. I had to troubleshoot that, which took me a little bit. Go button by button to see if I had the wires in the correct order, because those do matter. The ground and the hot, those matter what order they go in.
Okay.
And they're daisy chained. So one side has one set of ground wires, one set of hot wires, and they're connected, and they're daisy chained to all 8 buttons. And then those plug into a power connector onto the PCB board. Or, sorry, the USB encoder. That's both sides.
Okay.
I got all that connected, and then I installed my audio amp which is cool because you can add another speaker to make it stereo sound instead of one single mono speaker.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do that just because I don't have an extra speaker laying around.
Right.
But once you get all your controls done, you have to take the PCB board off the back of the LCD monitor that comes with the cabinet to install a converter or a conversion for it that allows it to receive input signals from HDMI or VGA or stuff like that, because the Raspberry Pi that you're going to use connects to the HDMI port of the encoder board for the monitor.
Right.
And that is pretty simple. If you buy a kit, like I bought a kit off of Etsy from a guy, and all I had to do was plug everything in and wire my board and my control board, and that was it. It worked.
Nice.
And it costed me like $250, $275, something like that for the mod.
Okay.
But that includes a Raspberry Pi, like a newer Raspberry Pi with power source for the Raspberry Pi.
Yeah.
A audio amp and power supply. That includes the encoder boards and all the buttons for the controls, including sticks. It comes with extra 30 millimeter buttons for start for each person or select for each player.
Mm-hmm.
And it came with the LCD encoder switch to accept inputs. So all in all, total, I have about $550 into my arcade and mod.
Okay.
Which I guess isn't bad because my mod has over like 9,000 games.
Yeah. I mean, it's
ranging anywhere from yeah. I'm not happy that it cost me almost $600, but it was worth it. If I have an arcade that people play, you know?
Right. It's a small investment. You got more than 3 games to play.
Yep.
You know,
and if I ever wanted to, because the arcade sticks function as X input controllers.
Okay.
I could throw an old 360 or something in there, mount it to the side, and have an arcade.
Yeah.
You know, I could throw an old computer in there and play Steam games. Like I have a Steam Link that's just sitting here.
Yeah.
Theoretically, I could play my Steam games on my arcade.
That's true.
You know, which I might end up doing. Because I would love to play Street Fighter V on an arcade cabinet.
Oh yeah, that'd be
Killer Instinct on my arcade cabinet.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was nice.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, a small investment, and I mean, you get a pretty decent return on it. I mean, because I don't know if we mentioned this on the last show, but you know, me and you kind of looked pretty extensively, you know, throughout Amazon, eBay, even local channels like Let Go and Craigslist. It was really hard to find, you know, an arcade cabinet within a decent price range.
Absolutely.
And even the money that you had invested in it, you know, you said about $500-600, that's still far below what we could find. Oh yeah,
just to get an empty shell of an arcade was over $1,000.
Yeah, and in most cases you're looking at pickup only. So.
Yeah, they won't ship them. I mean, there's people around here that for under $1,000 will give you an old arcade to, you know, do whatever with.
Yeah.
And living in Florida, there's auctions and stuff that you can go to. But even then, they're still, you know, well over $700-800.
Yeah, yeah.
For an old shell of an arcade, you know.
Right. And if you're lucky, it might work, and you get what, 1 game.
Yeah.
So.
and you're gonna have to deal with an old CRT monitor and put a new monitor in it. And it's gonna be way over $1,000.
Yeah. So
the way I did it is it's good for me and good for my family that plays it.
Yeah. So I mean, any of you guys and girls listening out there, I mean, if you're interested in getting, you know, kind of a personal home arcade. The arcade 1-ups, the build quality is, it's mediocre. I mean, you know, let's be honest. It is mediocre for the price.
If the controls were better, if the controls were a higher quality,
yeah,
I wouldn't have modded mine.
Right.
And I'm being honest.
Yeah.
If the controls felt better, if they used like American Hap buttons, switches, and stuff, I wouldn't have modded my arcade 1-up machine. It would still just be an arcade 1-up machine.
Right.
But because the quality of the machine is subpar, like at this point, the artwork on the control deck from me and my family playing it, I have like half the artwork left.
Wow.
It's pretty much just a piece of plastic.
And have you gotten your replacement thing for it?
No, I haven't received an email for the plexiglass cover that they were offering for free.
So I got mine. And
did you?
Yeah. And so what they did, it was pretty clever. If you watch some of their like convention coverage, you can see that the machines at their conventions do have this plastic overlay. So what it is whatever machine you order this cover for. So like for instance, I got it for the Street Fighter one. You get a cardboard replica of the artwork that is on the arcade cabinet itself, and then you get a pretty decent thickness piece of plexiglass that essentially lays over the whole thing. You take those 4 screws out for the deck, and then you put those 4 screws back in. It looks really good. I went ahead and put mine on. I didn't even, I put the cardboard on just to kind of preserve that artwork. It looks pretty good. I don't have any complaints, but that's the thing. Like, they didn't think about, okay, well, somebody's hands are going to be resting on this thing for a couple hours at a time. I mean, hot, sweaty, you're going to be rubbing that cheap paint all over the place. And, the fact that they just didn't include that, $1.50 piece of plastic.
Absolutely.
Stuff like that's kind of a turnoff. But, again, folks, if you're interested, get the cabinet.
Absolutely.
Get the cabinet, invest in it, and it'll become something that's really good.
Yeah. There's newer games coming out as well if you want to wait, if you're not a big fan of Street Fighter or the older arcades like Galaga and Dig Dug and stuff like that. I know Mortal Kombat is coming out soon from Arcade 1-Up if you're interested in something like that.
Yes. Yep.
There's Mortal Kombat, Rampage, NBA Jam, I think, is coming out soon.
Yep. Golf one?
Yeah, Golden Tee. Yep. So if you're fans of those, hold off a little bit until they come out. And then go ahead and pick it up.
Even if you don't want to mod, and you just want to spend that 300 and change on it, take some precautions while you're doing it. Go ahead and throw, a couple coats of clear coat on it. Protect that artwork. Just take precautions, to kind of preserve that $350. And you'll be happy with it because again, it's a decent machine. Like Emo said, it's not that hard to get new switches for it if you just want to do new switches. No.
Now with me doing the mod, I did see that the USB encoders that are pre-installed in the stick are not soldered to the buttons. and they're not soldered to the USB encoder. So you could, even if you didn't want to mod it, but you want better buttons and a better stick, you can put the better controls in it without doing a full mod.
Right.
Yeah. So if you would rather do that, because you can get a set of buttons for like $30.
Oh yeah.
On Amazon. Yeah. And it'll be all right.
Yeah. So I mean, in my opinion, it's worth it. I mean, especially if you're into that. You want to spruce up your gaming corner, or just have something for friends and family when they come over to kind of just enjoy or whatever for a few hours. It's definitely worth. It's you might not want to pay that $350 initially, but if you go ahead and kind of pounce on it and just invest a few bucks here and there, it'll definitely turn out to be a really solid machine.
Yeah, if you don't want to pay $300, look around Craigslist, OfferUp, Lego, stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
somebody will probably sell one on there.
Yeah.
Be cheap.
Oh, definitely.
But getting kind of back on topic here. The Nintendo Direct was a couple days ago.
It was.
And I wasn't too happy about what they were showing. But the one thing that I absolutely did love was a Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening they're gonna remake it.
Yes.
I was super excited about that. Yeah. I loved playing Link's Awakening on Game Boy. And I kind of fangirled a little bit when I seen that they were remaking it. Because that was my first Legend of Zelda game. Was Link's Awakening. And I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, it definitely looks beautiful.
My only complaint with it was Link's model. He's got little black circly bug eyes. And I wasn't a big fan of the circly bug eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little more cutesier than I would want, but I'm glad it's being made.
Yeah, it's
I really am.
It's definitely cool. I know they announced, so I know a lot of people were kind of upset that they didn't hear anything about a new Animal Crossing. I don't dive too deep into the Nintendo world too often. I have yet to play an Animal Crossing game. I've heard lots of good things about them. I just don't play on the DS nearly as often as I used to, so it's just not something that I get around to, but I would have liked to have seen an Animal Crossing for the Switch, because I definitely would have checked that out. But I know there's also Super Mario Maker 2.
Yes.
And I'm sure a fine gentleman that I believe you have probably seen. I know I have seen a lot of his shenanigans. Ross would enjoy making some levels for that.
Absolutely.
I've seen him troll the Game Grumps with his level making skills. Absolutely hilarious. But it was a decent show. I caught most of it. There was a lot of games that I didn't really catch on to. I know they came out with some new stuff for Starlink. Again, I had no idea.
More. I think it was more Star Fox stuff.
Yeah.
They're trying to keep that game alive.
I didn't even know it existed.
Yeah, I don't know if it's out yet. I honestly don't. I should know. I don't know why I don't know. But the game, people are losing interest very fast. That I can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's.
Oh, I mean,
it came out October 16th, 2018. So it's been out.
It's fairly new
for a while. Yeah. And I think people have lost interest in it. It's one of those niche games where you have to build the ship and then use the ship in the game, and it.
Okay, gotcha.
When are game companies gonna learn people don't want to do that? they really don't.
I don't know.
I was never, me personally was never a fan of games where I had to build something in order to play or collect something in order to play the game that I want to play.
Right.
Such as like what was it? There was a company out there, Activision was doing it. They were producing like the amiibo-esque figures.
Uh-huh.
Skylanders.
Yeah.
That was called. I was interested in Skylanders and those type of games.
Mm-hmm.
It looked interesting, but I was not willing to buy the figures, because this is when I do believe when amiibos first come out. I just was not a fan. I'm still not.
It came out. I thought it was a very cool idea that you can buy these little figures that have more than one purpose. I mean, you can purchase them and play with them, but then you can also collect them. So it's not like, if the game died or, you switch systems or whatever the case may be, you can still use the figures, or you can throw them up on a shelf and kind of show them off. Yeah, I know my kids were kind of big into the Skylanders thing. They really got into it. Went out, got the whole 9 for Christmases and birthdays. But then it died. And then you had the Disney version that came out. Disney Imagination something along those lines.
Yeah. Yes.
It came out, same thing. Bunch of little figures. You buy them, $10 to $15 a pop. Brought them home, put them on your thing, played them, whatever. That died really quickly. And then the coolest one to come out was Lego's version.
Was it Lego Dimensions?
Lego Dimensions. That was, in my opinion, that was very cool. I mean, because of course, who hasn't played with Legos? Everybody at one point has played with Legos. If you haven't owned them, you've known a friend that's had them and you've played with his or hers. So, and then they came out with the Shaggy and Scoobies and the Doctor Who, and I mean, it's just a whole plethora of different, genres and styles of these little Lego characters. You build it with your kids, and you throw it on the portal, and it was really neat. Unfortunately, it seems like that one's dying too, because I haven't seen anything new about it in quite some time. And I think a lot of it is because, not only are you paying $60 to $80 for the initial package, but you're also paying for, anywhere from $10 to $25 a pop for add-ons. Alternative to DLC, yes, because I mean, all you got to do is buy the character, and then you get to play the DLC for free, essentially. but it's a lot of purchases to make. And again, it's Legos, so it's not like, the way I see it is, it's $25 for, like a certain kit or to unlock a whole new area. But again, if the game dies, you still have that kit to play with. You still have the Ghostbusters to play with, or, the Doctor Who guys to play with. So it was a really good idea. I wish, they kind of would have done a little bit more with it. But
update on the Carlton dance. The guy's name is Alfonso Roberto.
Alfonso Roberto, yes.
Ribeiro.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. we butchered it. We should have known that, but couple of older gentlemen. It's hard to keep track of.
It happens, okay.
So I see that you posted a thing of Final Fantasy Starter Edition for free.
Yes, right now,
Exactly.
Final Fantasy 4. English words are hard. Okay. Final Fantasy 14 is free right now. I know it's free for a certain amount of time. It's like a trial. You can get up to like level 20 or something like that.
Yeah.
But they're giving full copies of the game away right now if you have Twitch Prime or Amazon Prime.
Yes, I have claimed mine. I did install it. I did make a character. I played about 5 minutes. I think it was only because I was fixing to get ready for bed for the night. It seems pretty cool. I mean,
I've had a couple people want me to play it. I can't get into it. I've tried. I really have tried.
Yeah.
And it's not for me. If I'm gonna play an MMO, I'm just gonna re-up my World of Warcraft account.
Same. I mean,
I have, World of Warcraft all the way up to BOA.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't know what BOA is, Battle of Azeroth. But I'll just start my subscription with that again if I want to play an MMO that bad.
Yeah, I mean, we had some fun on that. I love it. I'd like to continue it. It just with so many. I don't like the state that World of Warcraft is in right now. Yeah,
it's bad, and there's people leaving in droves.
Yeah, and unless they can bring down that monthly, to a more acceptable level.
Or just release Classic already.
Yeah. Because
I will re-up my sub for that. Yeah. Just to play World of Warcraft Classic, the vanilla World of Warcraft. I will do that in a heartbeat.
No.
I loved Classic World of Warcraft. Vanilla WoW.
Yeah.
I loved it. It was fun. But as of right now with Battle of Azeroth, I canceled my subscription. I just let it run out, and I haven't re-upped it yet.
Yeah, I mean, same here. It's just,
and I don't have any plans to give them $15.
No,
or whatever it is. I don't. Till something changes.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But speaking of Blizzard, Activision. There's a petition going around right now to get the Activision CEO, Bobby Kotick, to get him fired. I personally, being me, I signed this petition. I did.
Being you as a fellow gamer that's sick and tired of whatever shitstorm is going on inside Activision Blizzard right now.
Yeah. I can tell you from knowing Blizzard, their whole career as a company, they need to get away from Activision.
Oh yeah, it's
Activision is actively killing Blizzard.
Activision is going to be the noose around their neck if they don't get away.
Yes, they need to. Blizzard needs to get away from Activision and become their own thing again. Especially with Activision laying 800 people off.
Yeah.
They just this week laid off 800 people. And there's going to be more laid off, I do believe, if I read it right, in France. And they don't even know if they're laid off or not. It's going to take like 2 months for them to even know who's laid off or not. By all means, if you have the same stance that I do with what's going on with Blizzard Activision, sign the petition.
Yeah.
Because just merely uninstalling a game, that's not doing nothing. They already got your money.
Exactly. Yeah.
If you truly want to do something, just let your voice be heard,
Yeah.
Right now, as of us filming this, it is at 3,000 signatures out of 4,000.
Yeah, and that's, let's be honest.
That's a drop in that's 3,000 out of 4,000. Even 4,000 is a small amount when you're talking about a multi-million-dollar company.
Yeah.
But it's still, that's 3,000 people that's saying, hey, shit needs to change. Something needs to happen. There either needs to be a new CEO of Activision Blizzard, or Blizzard just needs to get away from Activision because they're actively killing Blizzard.
Yeah, they need to do what Bungie did and grab their assets and fucking dip. They need to get out. They need to get out. They need to recoup and take it back to square one when Blizzard was an amazing company. They crank out some of the most amazing, long-lasting games. Come on.
Okay, so I was reading a little bit into this just now, and I knew his salary was up there.
Mm-hmm.
His yearly salary is $30 million.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
That's his yearly salary. He gave himself, let's see, where is it? He gave himself a $15 million bonus for changing his job title.
Yeah, he's essentially spitting in the face of every dev.
Absolutely.
Gamer.
Now, this is also the person in 2010, and if you want more information on this, I really suggest you follow and subscribe on YouTube to Heel versus Babyface. He's very spoken with Activision knowledge. Like there's multiple channels I follow, but Heel versus Babyface looked deeper into the situation.
Mm-hmm.
And in 2010, it was a roundabout way that he was quoted saying he wants to take the fun out of creating games.
Yeah.
Which is complete and utter horseshit.
Oh, yeah.
It really is. Creating a game, it needs to be fun. Because these games take, as high as 5-6 years to complete.
Yeah, it's and the devs are they're fucking pushed,
Oh God, yes.
Extraneous hours. Very little breaks. It's not as cush of a job as you think it is, especially nowadays, with assholes like this guy. He's got his pockets open wide, and all of us are like, wow, look at this new game, dump, Diablo, buy the new thing, World of Warcraft, buy the new thing, do this, I mean, and we're just dumping money in his pockets, and he's literally just like spitting in our faces.
He's pissing on you and calling it rain.
Oh,
it really is. This petition was created a couple days ago. It was after the announcement of 800 layoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And he was boasting about a 9% increase of the stock. Now, I know me and you've talked about this. Next month, I'm going to personally invest in some stock of Activision Blizzard. Just because as a gamer that follows this stuff, I know what's going to happen when the next couple games come out.
Mm-hmm.
He was boasting of a 9% increase on Activision stocks.
Yeah.
Mind you, just letting everybody know, we don't talk about politics, we don't talk about religion, and we sure as shit ain't going to talk about finances. We are not financial advisors. If anything, I know how to spend it.
Yeah, disclaimer right now. Disclaimer. Emo and I's Nerd Time does not give out financial advice, politic advice, or religious advice.
But I've been watching this stock. I have been for a month or two now.
Yeah.
And as of filming, it's at $44.60 a share.
Okay.
And it goes up and down, granted.
Yeah.
But they're at a 1.8% loss today. So it's been fluctuating.
Yeah.
And as soon as it hits, I'm gonna, till the end of the month, till the end of next month, if it hits anywhere under $40 a share, I'm probably gonna buy 10 or 11 shares.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's they need Blizzard as a company, because I look back at what Blizzard used to be, and they were the powerhouse of MMORPGs.
Oh yeah.
They were the thing that other companies have looked up towards,
Yeah, everybody knew.
It's kind of sad to see what Blizzard has become. It really is.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking. I mean, and again, do you have a direct link that we can kind of share with the audience for that petition, or at least some general knowledge?
Yes, I do. I have it right here. I'm actually looking at it. Yeah, we'll put that in the description.
All right. Yeah, we'll put that in the description of the podcast. And,
I know. I've personally retweeted it, so it's on my Twitter. But I do have the link to share.
All
right. Yeah, something needs to happen. They are in dire straits right now. Very, very bad dire straits. Something needs to change fast.
Yeah, if a company like that, goes down in a ball of flames, it's not going to look good for future gaming companies and developers, and I mean it's just going to set the standard for other CEOs of companies to just essentially shit all over their devs, employees, and supporters.
Mm-hmm. But getting away from my Blizzard rant, there is a Witcher tabletop RPG game coming out soon.
Nice.
And it will be free.
So I'm assuming it's going to be a digital thing.
I honestly don't know. It's going to be there's a free version that's going to be available.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a 24-page booklet, so I'm assuming it's not digital.
I am reading it right now, and yeah, you're right. It's through participating physical retailers.
Yep. Yeah, so it's
part D&D of Free RPG Day.
Yep. So I'm going to say it's going to be like a D&T style tactic. Was it tangible? That's the word I'm looking for. Tangible.
Yeah.
Tabletop game, which is absolutely amazing. Awesome. I like that.
Huh.
I personally wasn't ever a big fan of the Witcher series, but I know there's a lot of diehard fans out there for it.
Yeah.
So hopefully they can get in, have this be a gateway back to D&D.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to keep you guys posted in future podcasts about Free RPG Day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, so everybody out there can get their hands on.
Yeah.
I mean, not only the Witcher game, but also other very enjoyable tabletop games. Which is kind of it's a slowly growing culture. Mm-hmm. It's, I mean, if you listeners out there haven't had the chance to enjoy a good tabletop game, I suggest you go out and, just look up something. I mean, and not just like your typical Monopoly or Uno. I mean, actually look for something that interests you, that, kind of touches base on your personal interests, and I guarantee you'll find something that's really fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I enjoyed tabletops.
Oh yeah, they're fun. Absolutely fun.
Oh yeah. But there's jumping ships here between RPGs, tabletops, and back to video games a little bit here, but there's rumors of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 coming out, and the rumor is that it is going to be a prequel to Modern Warfare 2.
Okay.
I absolutely loved Modern Warfare 2. I think Modern Warfare 2 is one of the only Call of Duty games that I prestiged multiple times in. I think I was like 4th or 5th prestige in it.
Yeah.
So I wasn't high up on the tiers of prestige.
Yeah, but you've invested some time.
But I've invested some time in that game.
Yeah.
I'm happy. I would love for that to go back to Modern Warfare 2 times.
Mm-hmm.
Because I absolutely I don't like the current state of Call of Duty games.
Yeah.
I have Call of Duty 4. And I bought it just because of Blackout. I really did. That's the only reason why I bought it.
Yeah, I mean, I got into it at World War, what was it, 1, 2, whatever it was. I got into it for the storyline, which was it was decent.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got a taste of the game, without dealing with all the, the squeakers and the kids on there screaming and hollering and whatnot, and my mom this and my mom that, and but
I'm
anyways,
blankety blank your mom and the blank blank blank.
Advanced Warfare I liked. I definitely liked the story mode in it. And it kind of got downhill. I mean, Black Ops 4, when I found, it didn't have a story mode, I bought it anyways. Same reson. I wanted to try Blackout, wanted to try the online multiplayer. I wasn't happy with it. This one coming out, I'm going to be honest, I'm probably not going to pick it up. unless it's going to have a decent story mode or something. Which I know COD's not popular for the story modes, but I'm not a big PvP guy, so
yeah,
it just doesn't. Multiplayer type stuff doesn't really rattle my bones like a good story does.
Yeah, I've definitely spent a lot of time and money on Call of Duty games. I absolutely have. I think I've played. I've bought and played every Call of Duty game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty sure. I think the only one that I never bought and played was there was one on PS2 and GameCube I didn't play.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly what it was called, but I know that I kind of skipped that one. But yeah, I think I've bought every one of them besides that one.
Right.
So Call of Duty's definitely up my alley. I even bought Black Ops 3. But speaking of console gamers, there's a new controller coming out, correct?
Yeah, Xbox has revealed, I should say, correction on that. They have revealed a new controller. It's the second in its sports series style of Xbox One controllers. The new version, named Sport Red Special Edition, it's of course red. It's inspired by the world of activewear and sports lifestyle, which is kind of contradictory since how you're going to be sitting down playing a console game.
Yeah.
The new controller will have rubber grips on the rear. It will launch worldwide on March 5th. It will cost approximately $70 US. Yeah, it's a bit expensive. It does come with a 14-day trial of Xbox Live Gold and Xbox Live Game Pass in select regions. You can get a matching Pro charging stand in the Sport Red. It comes with a 6-foot long cable. That will launch May 1st in North America and will be $50. Not sure yet whether that charging stand will come to other regions or territories. But so far, the controller itself, in my opinion, it's a pretty sexy looking controller. It's
very red.
Yeah, if you guys haven't seen it, you can check it out on GameSpot.com.
Yes.
It's all red. It's got some like honeycomby type design on the kind of middle grip. On
it's
either
in
side.
like a honeycomb. It's in like a gray or a black color.
Yeah.
And there's thin lines.
The A, X, Y, B buttons are all red. Thumb grips are red. D-pad is red, and the Microsoft Xbox logo button is also red. I think it's illuminated in red, which would be awesome instead of white.
Probably, yeah.
It's a nice looking controller. $70. I don't know about that. I mean, the only difference it seems like is it comes in red and it has grippy grips on the backside, so that's kind of a toss up for now. I don't know. I mean, it's a nice controller. It depends. I mean, if you're a diehard console gamer or want to pick one up for PC driving games or fighting games or what have you, it's definitely worth a check out.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that there's people out there that collect controllers and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I have a custom one that I did through the Xbox app before I kind of switched over to PC, which was decent. I mean, I like it, but again, it's a controller. If as long as it functions and does what it needs to do, I'm kind of fine with it. But it is what it is.
Yeah. Just looking down to the list here. Anthem has officially been released to some people. Yes, it's available right now. You can play and download it right now if you have the Origin Early Access Gold. You can play it now. I did. I know me and you were both part of the private alpha.
Yeah.
And I did not enjoy it. It was very stale.
I've heard
the flying sucked.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of that from a good portion of people. It's a beautiful game, and you want to like it. You want to get into it. You want to play it, but at the same time, you're just kind of left like, I mean, it's like it's like going to a restaurant. And you see this beautiful steak on the plate. It's smothered in blue cheese and some fancy fucking mushroom dressing, and you go to take a bite, and it just doesn't taste like anything. It's like, oh, it's beautiful. I want to like it. I want to eat more of it, but it's just not that good. And I think until it gets fully released and we see more missions, we see more of the map, we see more, add-ons or whatever. I just don't. I don't know.
Go ahead. Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say I just don't know. I don't want to see it fail, but at the same time,
I'm hearing a lot of people say it's maxing CPUs.
Okay, so it's not optimized.
Especially in like the hub area where you get inside the armor.
Okay.
To start missions. It's very chuggy.
Huh.
I've heard people saying that it's maximizing their i7 8700Ks. It's straight 100% peaking them.
Yeah, I mean, I could see. I mean, again, we played.
It's early.
Yeah, we played the early private beta.
That wasn't an issue in way back when alpha beta days. It wasn't an issue, but there also wasn't as many people playing.
Exactly.
There wasn't other people running around the hub area.
Right.
Now that there's people that can actually play it.
Yeah, stress test it.
Stressing it out, it's not optimized very well. And the microtransactions have been displayed for people to see.
Right.
They're not too bad. I know on the store, I think it's now the epic armor is like the equivalent to like $8.
That's not bad.
That's in terms of microtransactions, it's not bad, but it's not good either. It's a $60 game, and that opens up a whole nother can of worms. Microtransactions.
Yeah, it's too common of an occurrence nowadays.
Yeah, absolutely. And I will wait to see a full release of it before, because it was a very pretty game.
Mm-hmm.
and I would like to play more of it just to see what it's like.
Yeah,
like to see what the story is. But I'm gonna wait for a full release and look at videos and gameplay and stuff like that of how it is.
Yeah, same here. I think I'm gonna put that one on the shelf for a little bit, let it marinate, and kind of see what the pro gamers think of it first.
But speaking of microtransactions, Anthem right now, I've been playing it a lot. Their microtransactions are kind of on the expensive side.
You mean Apex Legends?
Apex, yes, sorry. Apex Legends.
Mm-hmm.
Not Anthem. Mm-hmm. Apex. They're kind of on the more expensive side.
Yeah, they are. I did notice that.
I do not like that. I get why, because it's a free-to-play game. And they got to make their money, that the money needs to roll in, especially now since they're doing Titanfall 3, stuff like that.
Yeah.
If it's still in development, they need to be able to fund that.
Yeah.
So I get it. They got to pay their workers for making Apex, and but it's crazy expensive.
Yeah, I think they need to kind of think of other means of kind of.
I know. One example was the one character Wraith. I know we were talking about the stealth character. She carries a knife, a kunai knife. I called it a shuriken earlier. It's not a shuriken. It's a kunai. She carries one of those, and in one of the loot boxes or crates or whatever they are, you can get. It's a pretty nice looking one. It's like blue and sparkly and electricity looking.
Right.
It's cool looking, but if you don't want to straight create that skin with the crafting shards that you get out of boxes, you have to get it in a loot box. Now, I've seen professional. I'm not going to call it professional because the game just came out, so nobody can be a professional. But professional gamers playing this game religiously, are saying that knife is a 1 in 500 chance
of earning it.
Of earning it in a loot box.
Gotcha.
They also said, though, is you're guaranteed to get it on your 500th box if you don't get it.
Wow.
Still, though, that's 500 boxes.
Yeah. I mean, it saves you the money, but at the same time, that's a lot of grinding for a simple skin.
Absolutely. I know the first day of playing, I got one of the epic skins. The epic or legendary skins for the character that I play.
Yeah.
And I looked to see how much that skin was. And it was like a couple thousand of the crafting shards that you get rarely.
Wow.
But they are very, very expensive.
Jesus.
Matter of fact, I'm trying to look it up real quick to see what the price is. Okay, so right here I'm looking at a picture. The currency, you buy packs. They're called cosmetic Apex packs.
Mm-hmm.
You get different skins. You get weapon and legendary skins. You get finishers, which you can do in the game. There's different finishers that you can do for killing a downed enemy.
Okay.
And the other things that you can get in the box are like border frames for your characters, like loading screen and stuff, because they display inside the game arena while you're playing, they're big, tall, like pictures of who the kill leader is.
Oh, okay.
And stuff like that, so it'll show up and look cool and braggy rights. So you get banner frames, and your character can get banner poses, and you'll be able to do to display your different stats, because you have to unlock they're called trackers.
Okay.
To be able to display your trackers, you have to earn those in loot boxes.
Okay.
So say you have a total of like 100 kills, you'll get that one. But say you want people to see how much damage you've done over time.
Yeah.
You have to unlock the ability to display that. So it's called a tracker.
Okay. Okay.
I thought was kind of weird, but
yeah, that's. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know.
And yeah, but there's and they have here. They were smart. Respawn was smart and gave the percentages of the items that you get in each box. So rare or better, when you purchase the boxes, your percentages for rare or better items are 100%.
Okay.
Your epic or better items are 24.8%, and your legendary items, which is the most rare in the game, is 7.4%.
Wow.
So every 30 packs, you're guaranteed at least one legendary item. And there's no duplicates. So the loot boxes themselves, they're not bad. Okay. But the thing is, they're 100 coins apiece.
Jesus.
Now the coins, 100 coins is roughly, I think, 1,000 coin, or 100 coins is roughly $1. So you figure to get the one weapon, you have a 1 in 500 chance of getting the one cosmetic item.
Right.
So you either grind levels, and nobody really knows the level cap right now.
Okay.
You either grind 500 loot boxes, or you purchase up to 500 loot boxes. Now, remind you, one loot box is 100 coins, which is roughly $1.
Okay.
So you're opening 500 boxes to get one item.
Wow.
That, my friends, I would say is probably a little fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, they need to rejigger their RNG on that type of stuff there.
Yeah.
Just a wee bit.
Just a little bit. Just a little. Because the current state of the microtransactions for Apex are bad.
Yeah.
Now, granted, you can craft every item in the game.
True.
With the materials. You can do that.
It'll take you 6 years to do
it. Pretty much. Pretty much. And of course, there's like a founder pack that you can buy and it gives you stuff. And then there's a standard edition that you can buy and it'll give you stuff.
Yeah.
Again, I get it. I get why they're doing it. I get why they're so expensive.
Right.
They have to make their money back. But come on, really?
Yeah.
It's just it's kind of ridiculous. It really is.
Yeah, a little
bit. Like, I'm looking at some of the prices. Weapon skins are looking at about 1,800 coins. So it's it's 100 coins is roughly $1, I think it is.
Yeah.
I can't exactly find a breakdown right now of what it is, but it's kind of crazy.
Jesus.
Like I thought about buying the Founders Pack because it's only like $30.
Okay.
And you get some loot boxes and camo skins and weapon skins and stuff like that. But with the state right now, it would probably be about a $30 game.
Yeah.
So if you're buying the Founders Pack, you're paying about what it would be worth to buy a game that's like it.
Yeah.
You know, PUBG was released for $30 and it had like nothing in it, you know?
Yeah, it had fuck all in it.
Pretty much. Okay, so I have the breakdown of the coins right now.
Uh-huh.
To get 1,000 coins, it's $10.
Okay.
So I was right.
Yeah.
So it's about $1 for 100 coins.
Okay.
It's $9.99 for 1,000 coins. The most expensive one that you can get is, I do believe, 11,500 coins. And that is $100.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they usually put the cap at like $99.99 or some shit like that.
Yeah, it's $99.99. It's $100 for 11,500 coins.
Yeah, they always try to get you with that, you know. Oh, spend this much and you get X amount of bonus coins, but it's like, you know,
yeah.
If you're gonna spend $100 on a free game, like,
yeah. Yeah. Okay, so the Founder Pack, the one that I was talking about, is $30.
Yeah.
You get 2,000 Apex coins, which is the in-game currency.
Yeah.
You get an exclusive legendary weapon skin.
Mm-hmm.
You get one or three exclusive skins for 3 different characters, so you get 3 skins there. You get 3 exclusive banners for 3 characters, so it's 3 exclusive banners.
Mm-hmm. And
1 exclusive Founders badge that you can display for everybody to see.
Yeah. Yeah. And
so
I get the fact that, you know, to play the game, you do not have to purchase anything whatsoever. There's nothing in the game that makes, you know, your gameplay. It doesn't make you win better. It doesn't make you, you know, do this, that, or the other. It doesn't up your stats or anything like that. So, I mean, to be honest, you know, guys, you don't have to purchase this stuff. It's completely by choice.
Yep.
So, I mean, them charging whatever they want it's kind of like, you know, I mean, they're saying you don't have to buy it to play the game, which makes sense. I mean, I know a lot of people like to buy the cosmetics and stuff because it, you know, kind of sets you out from the other people. You know, you look a little different and cooler. And that makes sense, too. I mean, not everybody wants to look exactly the same. But, you know, at the same time, honestly, it's a game based on skill.
Oh, absolutely.
So, you know, whether you dump, you know, $100 into it or no dollars into it, it doesn't matter. You can spend your entire paycheck on the damn game and still be, you know, a fucking potato. So
the guy right now with the most kills in the game, he has something around like 6,000 kills right now.
Wow.
Paid $0 for the game.
Exactly.
And he liked it and spent, you know, money on it, which is fine. You know, he's bought packs, you know, Founders, you know, loot boxes and stuff like that. So he's purchased the game.
Mm-hmm.
He got what he wanted. And that's the thing. How much are you willing to spend to get what you want?
Exactly.
You know, are you willing to? Are you willing to gamble your money to get what you want?
Yeah,
because you can't buy the crafting material,
right? And I mean, if they would implement something in these kind of games to where like you could, essentially sell back something that you don't want, at a fraction of the cost.
Yeah.
You know, or even an auction. You know what I mean?
Yeah, some sort of auction house would be cool.
Exactly. Throw something. I don't want these skins. I don't use them. I don't have that character. I don't like that character, whatever the case may be. Throw it up in the auction house for a fraction of the cost. You know, get coins back. Get in-game currency back. Spend it on something else. Don't like it?
Yep.
Whatever. Keep it. That's fine. If they would implement something like that, I think that would be a much easier way for a constant, generation of money, or regen of money, or constant, flowing income, than just outright charging, X amount of dollars for coins, which then you have to turn into, shards, and then you got to turn it into whatever else to buy what you want. If they gave you the chance to do that, and like when it came down to commons, or, set like a base price for commons, like, I don't know, 5% of what you paid for. I don't know, but something like that would just, it seems like it would be, for somebody like me on the outside, it seems like it would be somewhat easy to implement. I mean, I can't. I know I'm not the first person to think of something like this. I know that. Yeah. So there's got to be a reason why they haven't implemented something like it. I don't know if it's follows some kind of, goes against some kind of gambling thing, or something. I mean, I know WoW does it. You can auction off your gear. So I figured if WoW does it, I don't know why a free BR game can't do it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
If we don't have anything else for this week's session, we can go ahead and...
I think that's about it for this week. There's a lot of good movies coming out.
Yeah, we'll have to do a...
We need to do one podcast on just movies coming out.
We should do that. We should do like some themed ones coming up. That'd be a good idea. But again, all the listeners out there, we do have a Patreon. Please go visit it if you do like the podcast. Support us if you wish. What that will do is allow us to further improve our podcast with better gear. So on and so forth. I mean, further endeavors, if the podcast does get popular, we can always think about merch options, things like that. But please check out the Patreon. You can also hit us up on Twitter, Eyes of Black Sand, Emo Peanut, and Emo and Eyes Nerd Time Podcast. Hashtag Nerd Time Podcast. Please check us out. That's all I got.
Yeah, that's it for this week.
That's it.
Play Apex. It's fun. It really is.
Yeah,
Apex is fun.
I'll have to check it out.
Absolutely.
Bye-bye, guys.
See you next time. Hey, if you find our podcast enjoyable, feel free to follow on here, as well as our YouTube channels.